Hi and welcome to another episode of PA Voter Information Network. I am your host, Larry DeMarco, and today we are here with Fernando Suarez. I met Fernando recently at a communication course, a communication seminar. Fernando is a true man for others, a leader, someone who teaches by example, and I'm real excited to introduce him to you all. So please enjoy my interview with Fernando. Fernando, thank you for being a guest on PA Voter Information Network.
Thank you, Larry. It's a pleasure being here. Very interesting person.
Fernando, before we get into what you're doing in your community, please tell us about your business.
My business, well, this year in August, it's 30 years, so it's a nice anniversary date. Started a long time ago at my home office, and I quickly filled a need, which was, can you help me? And I'm like, sure. Today I employ 25 people. People all over the world, mostly Hispanics, but we do have people from Bangladesh and from Philippines. We have plenty of Dominicans and Colombians, Puerto Ricans. They're working with us. And we have several divisions. Divisions that we have are formations of businesses, business licensing. We actually do about 2,000 new business licenses a year. Then we take it to the accounting, bookkeeping end of it, where we help you mom and pop grocery stores, mom and pop subcontractors. We can take you into the cloud, our own proper cloud, and have you true and proper accounting, how it's supposed to be done. We also do the payroll. We do it in weekly, daily, monthly, Spanish and English in your neighborhood. And then we do what is the actual taxes from all that result, which is the income taxes, the corporate taxes, the individual taxes, anything related to taxes we handle. We do other services, but those are 4 core services that we handle in the office.
Fernando, tell me a little about your personal background and how you developed this interest in helping the community and people around you.
Well, that's interesting. I was born in Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, but a month later my parents brought me to the United States, and I assimilated in both Hispanic and American society quite well. And because I had my foot in one side and my foot in the other side of different countries, I was able to do that with other different countries. For example, I became a resident Dominican. I did a lot of work, and I continue doing lots of work with Dominicans and Hispanic market. By looking at the differences, I'm able to create a niche and understand what the hearts of these people are. It's not only Hispanics. You could take an Indian from India, and I'll understand his heart. I can, talk to the Jamaicans and understand their heart, because they literally have their one foot in their home country and one foot in the United States. So I got to learn about their needs, and I just started filling their needs one at a time, and I started building my company based on those needs. There's an interesting story. I received a letter to work for Coopers & Lybrand when I was about 21 years old, and I said, Dad, look at this letter. I get to work to one of the top companies in the world. What should I do, Dad? And he says, son, I don't know what you should do, because he didn't understand what the letter really meant. And he says, son, I don't know what you should do, but I do know that if we united this community, we'd be powerful. And he didn't mean him and I. He meant the community would be powerful. So he planted a mustard seed inside my brain. It took years and years, but that seed was always talking to me. That little voice inside of me was always talking to me. And all of a sudden, there was a master plan created. And 30 years later, I'm working on the master plan of uniting Hispanic market economically. And it's not only Hispanic market, it's the immigrant market economically together. And based on that dream, my entire life came together. I was with my father in Colombia this week. We were talking. I said, Dad, take a look at what we're doing. And it all came because of you. You planted that seed, and all I do is live your life. And I'm happy to do it. I'm like, I enjoy, putting people together. And my sense of my being is unity. It's bringing people together, bringing the force. When he sat and told me if we united this community, we'd be powerful, immediately I said, you know what? I'm not going to those buildings downtown, those glass, beautiful buildings. I'm bringing my entire community to those glass buildings.
How is the community when they are individuals and alone?
scared. They're scared because they put that fear in front of them because of the language barrier. They're scared because they don't have access to what's readily in front of them. And that fear makes them act in a certain way, more of a selfish way versus a loving way. Which they're all powerful people, they're all smart as you and I, but that little scared, that little fear that gets in between them doesn't let them be powerful. So that right there is where I want to empower each person and giving them access to what I had. My family gave me the access of not being afraid of being in the Anglo-Saxon community. In the immigrant community, because of that language barrier, we don't get a chance to talk freely and talk to one another as if it was a group. And there's where the difference is at.
Fernando, why is this important that the immigrant community group together as one, especially in the modern political climate? And this is being filmed May 14th on the eve of the Pennsylvania primary, May 14th, 2018.
Larry, this isn't anything new. What I'm doing is not anything new. The Irish were suffering, they were being abused, and they got together and they started winning. And you look at the Irish society now in the United States, it's very powerful.
Italians too.
Well, that was the next step. Yes, definitely.
Didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, that's okay. That was the next step. And
I had to throw that in, of course.
No, I think Washington turned out to be a very affluent community. And they're no longer behind the meats and the fruits and the vegetables. Some still are, but very few. Now the Mexicans are there. It happened with the Jews, the Jewish people. And now it's the Hispanics' turn. If you take a look, there was a little glitch in there. There was, first came in the Cubans, then the Puerto Ricans, then the Koreans, and now the Dominicans. And overall, the Hispanics control the food in the city of Philadelphia, but individually, not by themselves. So because of all this, everyone knows how powerful the Hispanics are. So in politic world, there's something called gerrymandering. And in the city of Philadelphia, it's rampant. And now it's changing a little bit. But for years and years and years, the city of Philadelphia was being gerrymandered to a level which is unheard of. They would delineate the lines of power of Hispanics so they wouldn't unite. I recognize it. I've met with a lot of people. And now what we want to do is unite so we can have that force. You know, a grocery store commands 500 customers a day. The average grocery store. Let's make it 200, 300 a day. That would be, let's say, 1,000 grocery stores to 300 clients a day. That's 300,000 votes per day that we could obtain.
Are you talking about neighborhood corner stores, or are you talking about major Acme supermarkets?
These are mom and pop grocery stores. These are mom and pop restaurants, the small bars. These are all people that lead the community, but they don't do it in a group. They lead it on their own, as their own CEOs of their own little companies. And they influence 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2,000 customers a day. All I'm doing is creating the vision of us working together and changing the city of Philadelphia, because there's companies called, I don't know if you ever heard of them, Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, even Wawa now is building all over, and they're taking the jobs of our immigrant community away, saying we're doing society good. Actually, they're not. They're siphoning the money out of the city of Philadelphia. Walmart does not have corporate owners here in the city. They send it out to Silicon Valley, send it to the Midwest, and send it to Wall Street versus keeping it here in the city of Philadelphia. CVS, Rite Aid, Target, they never had food in their stores. Now half of their platform is food because they've noticed that we have the control and they're trying to take it over. Walmart did not sell food 10 years ago. Now look at it now. And what happens is the money gets taken out of our community. It doesn't get reinvested through taxes. It doesn't get reinvested through jobs. They pay people $7 an hour, $7.25 an hour, and they abuse. Meanwhile, the store owners work hard, 80 hours to 110 hours. They spend the money here. They live upstairs. They pay their taxes here and pay their real estate taxes here. That money should be staying here instead of losing a business a day, because Walmart destroys one business a day easily in my community. Let's not even count the rest that I mentioned. One business a day, less businesses, less votes, less energy. Pretty soon, if we're not careful, it's going to look like some other cities that we know around Philadelphia. Very soon, if we don't take charge and control our own destiny. If we don't take the business owners and make them true leaders. And this is what I want to do. I want to make true leaders. I don't want to be the leader. I want to help people make leadership.
So Fernando, generally speaking, describe your efforts to reach out and unify.
It's basically communication. What I'm trying to build is a communication platform, because we're too busy right now as business owners. You're a business owner, I'm a business owner. We could sit here and just chit-chat with a glass of wine or some cognac and just talk business. Just to find out new things, because that's what business owners want to do. They want to find the edge. They want to find the new way of making money. They want to know what they don't know in reference to business. It's a topic, and I can go in many different directions here. Hispanics want to talk about money, politics, and women. Hispanic business owners, the men do.
Sure, but you're talking about something much greater than that, because you and I are chatting now,
Yes.
and people always get together after work, have a drink together, and talk. But you're talking about something much greater than that.
Yes.
Be a little bit more specific.
Well, I want to build a new railroad. And Abraham Lincoln built the railroad and connected the United States. And 30 years after that, everything was very prosperous because of the communication, because getting to something quicker. Well, what I'm doing is creating a platform of communications through Zoom, a program that allows 1,000 business owners talking at one time.
A digital platform.
A digital platform. Mm-hmm. You know, eventually it's going to go up into a YouTube program where we're talking at all times on what the small business owner wants to be doing and what concerns them, what hurts them, and what they're looking to help with. Because all business owners want to help. They just don't know how to communicate. So I'm building that platform of communication.
And you've chosen the food industry as a unifying common denominator to unify the Hispanic community. But what can other businesses learn from this need to organize? Isn't this more far-reaching than the food industry?
What happens is he who controls the food, controls the money, controls the politics. It's as simple as that. But we are all connected to the food. We have to have this drug 3 times a day. And for example, taxi cab driver, they have to have food. And they have conversations with the bars, they have conversations with the restaurants, with the beauty salons, and they move people around the city. So they're all connected to food. And if we connect our buying power and our voting power to food, then we can unify.
But what can other small businesses learn from this, from the fact that big businesses are taking money away from small businesses?
The buying power, if we unite it, we're just as big as the larger companies. We can actually compete with Walmart. I wouldn't say we would dent them because they're so huge, but we could take our own piece. Say it'd be 2%, 4%, 6%. We take our own piece and we start now working like the famous Jews work. They work together, they work in community. They talk and they only invest in themselves. If they're gonna buy something, first they look at their portfolio, which immigrant Hispanic community we can buy from, and we buy from there. We don't go to Walmart. We buy from ourselves, and then we empower ourselves, we educate ourselves. Same thing as the Irish, same thing as the Italians, same thing as the Jews. It's only the Hispanics' turn.
The point is, the power of the purse is an enormous sense of power, or
Yes.
it's an enormous political power. So, Fernando, your plan. What is your ask? What is your request of small businesses in the food industry who want to join?
My ask is, come and meet with us in the Small Business Union. Come and see some of the companies that we have set up, because we have several companies, because we have a large master plan. And I'll get to show you what you're really interested in. I don't want you to join because, oh, it's Fernando asking. No, I want you to join because you have a passion for what you want to do. So we get to talk, just like you and I, Larry, we talked. And I felt your passion, you felt my passion, and this is why we're sitting here today. And I'm going to put you, and we're going to talk and discuss where and what company you should be placed. The company I'm working on right now is called the Small Business Union. It's a nonprofit. It's designated to have within about a year 1,000 stores talking to each other in communication. And I want to introduce that to you. I want to show that to you. I want you to see how you can get involved. I do need lots of volunteers. I need people to pick up the phone. I need people to say, you know what, I have that. I'm going to send it to you. Or I need you to meet someone, and I want you to meet that person, because that person's going to meet, and we're going to meet other people, and just build this railway of communication.
And then?
After that, the Small Business Union will have several benefits for you individually as a member. And that membership will bring more membership and more unification, and just continue to unify. Because I do have a public company that we're going to unify legally and then build our master platform from that. But first, I want us to communicate. You brought something very clear to me, that we're the only group that's diffused. If we unify this group and have leadership in this group, we can grow very quickly and very strong.
And when we were talking earlier, you also mentioned that there is strength in voting and being active in the political process. Describe a little bit about your plans there.
One of the councilmen that I look up to, she won with less than 1,600 votes. She won her position with less than 1,600 votes. Just as business owners, we can individually vote that way, and we can change city council. City council doesn't understand what small businesses are. And we're not better than anybody else, but we do start the economy in the city of Philadelphia. I know about the economy in the city of Philadelphia. I'm an accountant. All I do is follow the money. And I see where the money starts and where it ends, when we suffer and when we don't suffer. And it really starts from the small businesses. The small businesses are the ones that determine every 2 city blocks how that economy and how that money is being spent. And all we want to do is track it and use it to our benefit to improve the city of Philadelphia. Not let the money be siphoned out of the city of Philadelphia by the larger companies. So by us educating ourselves little by little, we can start voting together, changing city council. There's not one that I like and I don't like. It's just who's helping small businesses and who's not. And if you're helping small businesses, we're going to support. If you're not helping small businesses, we actually have to change that. It doesn't matter where you come from. We need small businesses, not only in Philadelphia. In Paris, the system that I've set up works the same. It works in wherever, Wichita, Kansas. Small businesses is where communities stay together, come together, and they think. And once this is done in Philadelphia, we can take this to a larger level.
Now, a lot of my viewers are in Delaware County, and you talk about stores like Walmart and Target carrying food. So doesn't this also apply to store owners in Delaware County, Montgomery County, Bucks County, and Chester County?
The chambers that exist now, they're interested in bringing companies together and people together. They serve their purpose, but they've forgotten for the small people, the small business owners. When we get the small business owners together in every different county, and we can start with the mass of Philadelphia. Napoleon went with the masses first. He went in concentration of strength. We have a concentration of strength here in the city of Philadelphia, and I base it on that concentration. Then we go further and further, then it becomes a magnet, and people start coming back. So yes, we are interested in people in Delaware, in Bucks, in all different counties that are small business owners to come together and talk, communicate. I'm building a new railway, and I'm asking you, Mr. DeMarco, I'm asking everyone to come and lay yourself down as the first railroad tie, the second railroad tie, the third railroad tie. And we have 20 railroad ties together, sacrificing 2 hours, 15 hours a month. Come and help the union. And we will put together on top of it a rail of love and a rail of communication. From there, we can connect every business together. We start connecting political power. We start changing people that are not serving the small business owners. And we start putting in people that we know, trust, and take care of us.
And keep money in the community.
That's the reason. That's the reason. Personally, as a business owner, I had 770 clients 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Now I'm less than down to 500. And it's not that I'm doing bad service. On the contrary, I'm top of the line. It says Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, Target. The companies like that are destroying our communities. I see it. Other people are too involved in the cash registers that see day to day. They just focus here, but they don't see the whole community. If our mayors and our council people saw the community properly with as business in mind, we would have a prospering city, and we wouldn't be asking for soda taxes, stamp taxes, tea taxes, cigarette taxes. We wouldn't have any laws changed that would hurt small business owners.
Are non-Hispanics welcome?
Of course. I love them all. Definitely. Thank you.
Fernando, someone who wants to get involved, and I want you to look right in that camera and say, who do they contact and what is your contact information? And I promise to put a caption right underneath you as you speak so they can read and listen at the same time. Go ahead.
Thank you, Larry. They can contact the Small Business Union. The telephone number is 215 457-3100. We also have our website, thesmallbusinessunion.com. We also have a Facebook, The Small Business Union. And you can ask for myself, or you can ask for anyone in the Small Business Union. And we're open all the time. Just leave us an email, leave us a chat. We have all sense of, we have every form of communication. We have WhatsApp. You want to be added to our groups, just let us know and we'll include you. We need your conversation at all times. We need to hear your pain and your troubles, and we will formalize them together. We'll start talking together, and we'll start forming groups. All the legalities have been taken care of, all the way to the top. Thank you.
Fernando, we'll leave it there. I want to thank you for being a guest on the PA Voter Information Network.
Thank you, Larry. Awesome. Thank you.
We have been here with Fernando Suarez, and I am your host, Larry DeMarco. If you like this video, don't forget to share it with all the people on your contact list and Facebook friends. We are signing off. Tune in next time. Bye for now.